Glad to have you back. You're still watching News Night here on Arise News with me, Iyamu. As the nation continues to grapple with the tragic flood disaster in Mokwa, Niger State, the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA has warned residents of Taraba State of a potential flood. Arise News correspondent Folashade Daramola reports.
Over the years, Taraba State has witnessed severe flooding, windstorm, and natural disasters, resulting in deaths and wrecking destruction that left many residents of the state homeless. At the Stakeholders Engagement Summit in Jalingo, the Taraba State capital, Deputy Director in charge of relief and rehabilitation at NIMET highlighted some of the risks that will come with the flooding and warned residents to begin to prepare for an emergency.
As part of our flood early warning system, NEMA has identified disaster risk management implications and mitigation strategies for communication to communities at risk during the rainy season. We have also produced vulnerability maps for all communities at risk to serve as tools to guide government at all levels to develop risk reduction measures to avoid disaster losses during the year. Public and private institutions, humanitarian, non-governmental organizations, school children and youth organizations are expected to leverage on these early warning tools to support the efforts of NEMA and other government institutions.
Last year, 10,505 persons were displayed in the state, referencing the 2025 seasonal climate prediction by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency and the annual flood outlook by the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency. NEMA is making efforts to avert the loss of lives and property during this natural disaster.
It is crucial and efficient for the stakeholders to converge together to have a coordination on how to handle disaster and emergency, because we know that without the relevant stakeholders present here, we cannot be able to achieve all these things.
We need each other to be able to succeed in this war against hazard. There is no hazard that doesn't come with risk, and there is no risk that you don't anticipate. But how did you prepare for it? It's one of the things we are trying to come together to strengthen today.
The latest warning by the agency raises concern about the safety of residents of a potential impact of the flooding around the various communities. Folashade Daramola, Arise News.
All right, joining us now is Vice Marshal Akuba Iyamu, President, Association of Environmental Protection and Climate Change Practitioners. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you.
Let me start from that warning by NEMA. What do you make of the warning?
You see, for the response agencies, it has become Hegelian dialectic. What does that mean? Thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. The people, they don't understand the philosophy and theories of what you are talking about. What they want is that, look, this same disaster should not meet them at the lowest point that they are every time. Do you understand? Yep. The warning will always be there. We have been warning and warning and warning and warning. So what have the warning? What has it brought? I don't like talking about NEMA because of special affiliation. If I have anything, I'll pass it on to them. But before we go, my heart goes to the people of Mokwa.
Yep.
You understand? So, like I said before, while we were all debating, was it caused by dam? Was it caused by flash flood? Was it caused by unmanaged buildings and everything? No. We should have sat down, did the analysis to find out where the flooding was coming from.
The question is, should the analysis be done now? For example, the federal government recently launched what they call Anticipatory Action Framework, AAF, by the VP. The idea is to shift disaster management from reactive to proactive preparedness by heeding early warnings. How do we really prepare for flood in this country? I mean, following from experiences past.
See,
and this framework.
we have to take a second look at our response and preparation. Do you understand what I'm saying? What the Nigerian people are expecting is over and above what they are getting instead of disaster management. If you have a country that is facing insecurity, it should be at the front of the, it should be a front burner to be discussed. If you have IDPs coming into it, then you are diminishing the whole essence of that thing. For me, the other day, the minister rushed to say that it's not from the dam.
Yeah, he said it's not
dam,
it's not...
I laughed.
Then he said it's drainage.
I laughed. Now, you see, you have a Jeba Dam, you have Shiroro Dam, you have Kainji Dam. If you have a dam in a place, it is capable of altering the environment, the climate of that environment. Because dam is going to pour in a lot of methane into the atmosphere, thereby changing the temperature. It is also going to change the hydrology, the hydrology of the area. And most importantly, it is going to change the precipitation. Because of the precipitation you are talking about, what's precipitation? Precipitation, rainfall. And because you have the rainfall, you are not going to be able to avoid spilling water. Spilling water. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is not just enough to say, no, it is not dam. The secondary cause is the dam. Because the hydrology of the water is already full. When you spill water, what are you going to do? You are going to have flooding. You're going to have flash flooding. Now, over time, what people do is that they've been able to plan a whole of that area to say, anticipating this particular situation that we are talking about now. Because dam influences precipitation so much. So much. If you are going to do everything, then you have to start preparation. I give you an example. In 1900, when one of their president in USSR was building the rail line and almost the autobahn, they asked him, how many people are in Soviet Union that you are building this? He said, look, in 100 years' time, you are going to praise me. It is not when the disaster has happened that we start preparing. We start preparing. No, you have a country that is grappling with 40 million SMEs that is being attacked by the by the economic situation, that is employing that is contributing 48 million to the economy and employing 84%.
Yep.
Of course, 96% of the businesses in Nigeria, they are all SMEs. And if you have insecurity and natural disaster combining, you are attacking those figures significantly.
Eviam, the question is, this has happened. Are we ready for the next flood? Have we reviewed the state of our dams? What are the predictions? What are we doing with NEMA's predictions? And what can we learn from the Nigeria Hydrological Services annual flooding outlook? Do we look at these things?
If NEMA is going to make prediction, they should first of all take into account. They have told us that World Meteorological Organization have told us that the next 5 years will be very hot. And 2 of them is going to be the hottest since temperature began in 1948. So that should be taken into account.
Of climate change.
The question of climate change. The second thing that should be indexed is that the glaciers, they are melting. 40% of them is going to melt. Even if we stop the temperature today, we cannot stop the glacier from melting. As we speak now, 113, they have added 113 millimeters to the ocean. That goes back to the precipitation I'm telling you. As you stand today, you are going to be having erosion in unlikely areas. That's Taraba, Adamawa, and all. Why? Because the equator is full of water. It's full of water. And because you see, what is climate change? It's the inability of the climate to regulate itself. So the earth is supposed to be moving around the sun, but because there's so much water in the equator, so you find it slowing down. Sometimes you just have very long day and everything. So let us not reduce the flooding here to a local problem. It's an international problem that you have to index a whole lot of it. The water resources should be telling us the movement of water now. You should be telling us the movement of water. We are not even talking about Lago Dam. We are not even gone there at all. See, Now we should test our national disaster plan and the national contingency plan right away.
We'll leave it there.
Yes.
Test our national disaster plan and contingency plan
Yes.
right away. Expecting, of course, there will be the next one.
Yes.
Coming. Thank you so much, Air Vice Marshal Akubo Iyamu, retired President, Association of Environmental Protection and Climate Change Practitioners.